There was a time the Hamilton Tiger Cats looked practically unbeatable at Tim Hortons Field, but they've lost a couple of straight at home, trying to get back to their winning ways against the Saskatchewan Roughriders tonight. The Tiger Cats still in a three-way tie in the East Division with Toronto and Ottawa, looking to go back alone at the top against a team that must win or they officially get eliminated from the CFL playoff race. That would be the Saskatchewan Roughriders here on Wendy's Friday Night Football. Welcome to it. Rod Smith along with the panel of Jock Climby and Milt Stiegel and Chris Schultz. And you know, a lot of eyes will be on the starting quarterback of the Hamilton Tiger Cats tonight, making his second ever CFL start in Jeff Matthews. Lost his first start last week against Calgary. And Schultz, I assume a lot of people are intrigued to see how much better he will be against Saskatchewan tonight.
I am, and here are his goals. Number one, adapting, adjusting, and then accelerating. Adapting to a brand new defense. You have to understand, it's a completely different defense than what Calgary showed him. He has to go through his video analysis, then adjusting his game, because he now has a full game of watching himself on video. Play to your strengths, improve your weaknesses, then accelerating. We need to see a quantum leap from Jeff Matthews. Hey, Jonathan Jennings ripped this defense in Saskatchewan for over 400. Matthews needs to be able to do the same thing.
Well, if he doesn't, you got to wonder whether or not this is a potential audition for Kevin Glenn in the trade. I mean, it's just sort of interesting and ironic to think about the possibility that Hamilton would go out and get Kevin Glenn and that this game could be on an audition of sorts. I mean, this is the league's best insurance policy, has been now for a few years. Could he be one more time? Like I said earlier in the show, I don't see Hamilton winning a Grey Cup with a rookie. But Kevin Glenn coming over in a trade, can I see them winning the Grey Cup? Absolutely. All this guy does, everywhere he goes, is back up for somebody, step in, and throw touchdown passes. So could he do it? He could do it.
If he plays well and Jeff Matthews does not, Kevin is not going back to Regina. Is that
just say, hey, just come to dressing room's right here.
Well, I want to see if these Hamilton Tiger Cats can win a close game. We've seen what they've done in their wins. They've actually mollywopped the competition, averaging 23 points margin of victory. But in their four of their 5 losses, 4 points of less, they weren't able to win the games. With Jeff Matthews at quarterback, this could be a close game. Now, I know the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they haven't played well in the close games or the larger margin games, but they have a chance of winning this game if they can keep it close.
Well, when they last met, that was back in Week 5. The Riders were 0-4 coming in. That was close until the fourth quarter. Kevin Glenn got hurt, and Saskatchewan pulled ahead and won it by 10. So see what happens tonight in Hamilton. Dwayne Hearn will be watching with Saskatoon, because he can win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff's returned for a touchdown in this game tonight, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown in this game, you can also win $1 million. Dwayne, good luck with that. We got a Dwayne Ford standing by with Rod Black for the call at Tim Hortons Field. The Ticats, the Riders, Wendy's Friday Night Football kickoff is next.
Thanksgiving weekend is upon us. So too, Pink Month in the Canadian Football League. 3-week campaign to raise awareness and tackle women's cancers. So we think pink tonight. Welcome everybody to Wendy's Friday Night Football. One team in a frantic fight for first place, the other clinging to life.
All right, Jeff Matthews of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, hoping to keep his team atop the East Division. Lost his first career CFL start last week, looking to rebound here against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. You heard the boys in the studio talk about it. Could this be the audition for Kevin Glenn? If it doesn't go well for Jeff Matthews, that remains to be seen. Former Ticat, former almost everything. Kevin Glenn among the CFL's career leaders in many passing categories.
Bob Dice, coach of the Riders now, says the only way to control the future is to control the present. They'd love, they need, it's mandatory to get a win here tonight. Ken Austin, his team spinning right now. Since Zach Collaros went out with injury, they have yet to win. They've lost their last 2 games, including last week in what was pretty much a tornado here at Tim Hortons Field. And the wind is nowhere near what it was. Brandon Banks to return. Will he? Bouncing out of bounds. So the Cats and the Riders here.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Saskatchewan, number 39. Ball will be placed 30 yards in advance of the kick. First down, Hamilton.
So Hamilton gets first down. Good field position to start. Jeff Matthews brings the offense out.
Yeah, Jeff Matthews will have Michael Ford again in the backfield. 10 carries last week, only the third time this season a Ticat running back has reached double digits in carries. Joel Figueroa, fourth start of the year, second consecutive start at left tackle, replacing the injured Jake Olson. Taekwon Underwood, been not used a ton, but very productive when he has been. He's in for an injured Terrence Tolliver at wideout this week.
Again, the players wearing the pink spat, the pink gloves. 45. And I thought that wasn't the correct spot. There they are. They bring it up to the 45-yard line. This is where they begin. So kind of start what we see from Jeff Matthews, just his second CFL start against Kevin Glenn's 179th. They'll hand it off right away to Terrell Sickfield. He'll go right side. Tackle made by Victor Macho Harris.
Macho Harris joined in that defensive core. Tyree Hollands, first-year defensive back, leads the Riders with 6 knockdowns. Expect him to see a lot of action covering the Ticat slots here tonight on that D-line. Andre Monroe has been a very good addition. 4 sacks and 5 starts for him. Tyrone Brackenridge, potential game changer. 10 career forced fumbles, one of the biggest hitters in the Canadian Football League.
Ticats lead the CFL in second down conversions. Matthews is in trouble though, and he throws it, and it is complete to his old buddy Luke Tasker. We'll see where the spot is. It's going to be third down. They're going to be about a yard and a half shy of the first down. Looks like they want to huddle up to the line, or will they? Looks like they're bringing the kick team out now.
Watch for the long loop here from Alex Hall. A lot of trouble with that twist on the inside for the Ticat offensive line, giving up a hit on their young quarterback.
Ticats won the toss in this game. And they're probably thinking, why didn't we win it last week, when they might have had the wind when Justin Medlock went to kick and the leg going and gave the ball back. Just a 10-yard boot in that game. Downfield quickly, smothered the Roughriders, and Kevin Glenn is back in Hamilton.
Kevin Glenn will be joined offensively by Corey Wadman, third-year center, making his first career start at center. He's in for Dan Clark. Naaman Roosevelt has proven to be a very productive receiver, guy who can potentially stretch the field for this Saskatchewan team. Chris Getzlaff back in the lineup, making his first start in 2 months for the Riders.
So again, Glenn, basically you can call him Mr. Geico.
Interference on a kick. Hamilton, number 42. 10-yard penalty from point of possession. First down, Saskatchewan.
Dave Foxcroft, our referee tonight. Kevin Glenn, though, has been known as that insurance policy in the CFL, and that's really come of late. At one time, he was quite simply one of the best, one of the most elite quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League. I'll tell you what, though, he still is Mr. Geico. Talk about good insurance. And a lot of scuttlebutt right now about Kevin Glenn possibly getting another shot somewhere else. Glenn, though, turning and firing to Weston Dressler. Brandon Stewart tackles him near the 38-yard line, an 8-yard gain for Dressler.
Well, to be successful tonight, Kevin Glenn and his team are going to have to deal with these guys. Eric Norwood back in the lineup at D-end after missing the last 4 games due to injury. He was having a great 2015 up to that point. Justin Hickman has picked up the slack, as you can see in those last 4 outings. Jaleel Carter, he was on as a designated import last week. The former Toronto Argonaut starts this week at corner.
Eric Norwood had such a sensational season going. There's big Jerome Messiman on cue. Welcome back, 40. Eric Norwood had been playing off the charts before going out with injury, and he meets Jerome Messam in the backfield and will force the Riders to punt.
Well, getting Eric Norwood back in the lineup is absolutely huge for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. This is a guy who, over the course of the last season and a half, has become one of the real game-changing defensive players in the league.
Ray Early back to kick and back to return. A guy with 4 punt return touchdowns this season, 1 shy of the CFL record.
Procedure, Saskatchewan, number 32. 5-yard penalty, remains third down.
So they'll take this back 5. And even though the wind is not blowing as it was last week, which was basically a gale, there still is a breeze here tonight, and Ray Early's going to boot it into it. Early, who averages about 45 yards a kick. And there's Banks again. 4 punt return touchdowns, including last week. Oh, very close. And he got Ray Early, so it doesn't matter what happens to Banks because this is coming back. Roughing the kicker. They went for the block, and they got too much
Major
of Ray
foul.
Early.
Roughing the kicker, Hamilton, number 35. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Mike Daly got a little too close.
Well, the
Riders
backup
bring their
free
offense
safety
back.
came late with the rush. He's going to come from the defensive right side of the formation. Really not close to blocking it, but too close to the punter.
Riders get a break on the roughing the kicker penalty. Kevin Glenn, 36-year-old, 15th season. Jerome Messam in the backfield. And Anthony Allen back there, and Rob Bagg hauled down by Jaleel Carter, the former Argo, back in the lineup for the Cats.
Well, Jaleel Carter, a guy who played under Orlando Steinauer in Toronto in 2012. And Steinauer was the secondary coach there. Carter, a young CFLer then. 36 CFL starts to his credit. Guy who adds some experience, stability, Grey Cup experience to this Hamilton defense.
Jerome Messam in now, but 2nd and 7. 3-man rush. Glenn over the top. Chris Getzlaff is back in the Saskatchewan lineup. Missed 7 games, 7 weeks with a foot injury. And here's a funny stat for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Last in almost every category, except 2nd in the CFL in second down conversions.
And it certainly helps having Kevin Glenn, the veteran quarterback, back in this lineup over the last few weeks. That number could even grow with Getzlaff, Bagg, Dressler, Smith, and Roosevelt all healthy now. Fielding probably their strongest contingent of receivers this season.
Anthony Allen will go to the sideline after back in the huddle now. Got that handoff there. Was a flag down late. They also have pink flags and pink night tonight. Every CFL team
Objectional
will have a
conduct.
pink night.
Hamilton, number 44. 10-yard penalty, first down Saskatchewan.
Taylor Reed, as the players were coming back to the huddle. Late substitution now for the Cats. Riders 1st and 10 from the Hamilton 32.5. Glenn has 3 receivers. Pull it back now, play action over the top. Ryan Smith hauls it in. Half the first down yardage.
Justin Hickman was the man supplying the pressure on Kevin Glenn. It's a double tight formation. They could go max protect, but electing to release and leave Hickman unblocked on the play. He had a little something to say to his old teammate Kevin Glenn as the two got back up.
There's the rush. Glenn fires a dart over to Dressler. Another first down for Saskatchewan here.
Weston Dressler lines up. It's number 3 to the field. And he'll be an interesting guy to watch, see how or if his production improves with the return of Chris Getzlaff to the lineup. Dressler's numbers down considerably over those last 7 games that you mentioned. His partner in crime has been out.
Glenn, that's his first incomplete pass, was 5 for 5, so it'll be second down. Here's the red zone, which has been the dead zone for the Riders this season. They are last in points scored in the CFL. And they are last in the red zone. Bob Dice taking over. Had a great chat with him yesterday. Very excited to have the opportunity, obviously, but would have liked it under different circumstances. Riders 2 and 3 with Dice as head coach. Second down. 3-man rush again. Again a screen pass for Messam. And he's chopped down by Taylor Reed. It'll be third down, and they'll have to bring out the veteran Paul McCallum.
On a crucial tackle here from the middle linebacker, Taylor Reed. You'll see him moving laterally here to make the play. Messam's going to let the blitz of Brandon Stewart go, and then he's going into the spot vacated by Stewart, hoping for a little bit of room to run, but a great fill there from the second-year middle linebacker, Reed.
45-year-old Paul McCallum, 83% this season, career 80% kicker. So many years in the league, 27-yarder. To put Saskatchewan on the board, and he missed it. Brandon Banks is thinking about it, and probably shouldn't have. Brandon Banks saw something, it closed up, and I'm sure Kent Austin wanted him to give up one. Long field now for this guy. Jeff Matthews in his second CFL start for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Man in the CFL, Brandon Banks would probably do that a little different next time.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe not, because the initial reaction is, yeah, bad decision because you're giving up a lot in terms of field position. But when you look at the distribution, I mean, virtually every cover guy is on the left side of the field. A speed guy like Banks, he feels like he's got an opening. The one flaw, that blocking scheme failed to account for Keenan McDougall, who made a tackle in open space, leaving the Cats backed up.
Still zeros on the board midway through the first quarter. Great play action from Jeff Matthews. 24-year-old from Camarillo, California. Former star with Kent Austin in Cornell and Ithaca, New York. The Big Red.
And I'll tell you, I'm a huge believer in the designed quarterback runs within a team's offense because it keeps the defense honest. It gives them something else they have to defend in terms of gaps on the field. Jeff Matthews, this isn't as much a part of his game as it is Zach Collaros, but important that he does it to make the defense plant that seed in the defense's mind.
Matthews with time, slings it. Near sideline for Taekwon Underwood. Terrence Tolliver is a scratch tonight, so Underwood's going to get a lot of time at that wide out and another first down.
We'll take a look at the protection here from this Hamilton offensive line. Holding strong, Peter Diakowski. Didn't start last week. He's back at his usual left guard position.
Double tight end set here. Michael Ford in the game in the pistol formation. There he goes. Product of LSU. Michael Ford also spent some time in the National Football League. Chicago Bears, and most recently with Atlanta. Actually began the season in Hamilton, then went down south seeking some NFL employment. Didn't work out. Now he's back here.
And a great opportunity for him with these Hamilton Tiger Cats. Not a big running offense, but a team that may look to hand the ball off a little bit more often. With young quarterback Jeff Matthews at the helm.
Matthews changed the play, gave it to Ford, and he buries his head and has the first down. Affable young man, Michael Ford. Undrafted player. Comes in with a great skill set. They really like this guy, and he's showed some stuff in the games he's played.
And you see a little bit of everything from Ford on this run. Made a couple guys miss right at the line of scrimmage, and then a good hard finish fighting through contact to pick up that first down.
5 minutes to go, first quarter. Cats at their 42-yard line. They'll pound the ground again. There he goes. Michael Ford, who last week got back in this Cats lineup, had a few touches and did some good things.
Yeah, over 100 yards from scrimmage. He had 50 yards on the ground. And I mentioned off the top, those 10 carries, 50 yards, significant to me because the Hamilton Tiger Cats, prior to that, had only had their running back in double figures in carries twice this season. CJ Gable, when he was healthy, had a 20-carry game. Ray Hawley once had 11. So a big number for the Tiger Cats.
Matthews settles in and fires a strike to Terrell Sinkfield. Well, the young quarterback shows some savvy, shows some patience, and then shows off that very strong arm.
And you're going to see Sinkfield starting from the slot, working towards that corner. Great speed. There's the push to the inside on Marche Green, and a perfectly dropped-in throw by Jeff Matthews.
Now Ford looking end zone. Bounces down near the 3-yard line. There's a penalty flag down. 7-yard pickup. That was a 42-yard connection from Matthews to Sinkfield. See what this call is here. Injured rider, and even the Cats are calling quickly to the sideline. Alex Hall is in some pain. It doesn't look good.
Well, there ended up being a lot of bodies right on the perimeter.
Hamilton, number 84. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Alex Hall is being tended to. We'll step aside and come back to Hamilton. Scoreless with 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Signed, but the injury is not for the squeamish.
No, not at all. Alex Hall on the edge. They're trying to gain the corner here, and the guy to watch for Hamilton is receiver Terrell Sinkfield to the right side. He's trying to seal the edge, and actually the guy he's trying to block is Marche Green, number 1, coming across the formation. Sinkfield misses him and rolls into the knee, that left knee of Alex Hall. Now here you see Hall, the one white jersey on your screen. Sinkfield, number 14, to the left side. Goes for Green right on the edge of the screen, and then you're going to see the body appear colliding with that left knee of Hall, hyperextending it.
And he is up, but
yeah, he can't put any weight on that leg.
they are going to bring the card out for Alex Hall, and one of those freak plays. Matthew Shinetti is with us tonight. We'll try to get an update on Alex Hall. Guy who has had 7 sacks this season.
The ultimate ruling on this one is going to be very interesting to me, because it's illegal to motion from the outside and hit a player below the waist, to block below the waist. That's not the player he initially made contact with. It was kind of the aftermath of him falling off the initial block and coming outside in and falling into the leg of Hall. So it'll be interesting to see if there is any supplementary discipline on this play.
Well, the Hamilton players also sending their best wishes over to Alex Hall, former Bomber, East Division All-Star. Brandon Stewart, who also played with Alex Hall in Winnipeg.
You hate to see that from one of the Canadian Football League's top players, Alex Hall.
There's his good buddy Stewart. One thing that you see, you played this game. You've been down there in the trenches. When stuff like this happens, there's a tremendous brotherhood between the players.
Yeah, no question. You're always trying to beat up on the other guy, but you never want to see those kind of injuries.
So the ball is moved back now to the 20. Again, we'll try to get an update on Alex Hall. 6 receivers for Jeff Matthews. Went crossing pattern over the top. Big hit down there. Sinkfield meets Macho Harris on first down. They picked up around 5.
And Saskatchewan again managed to free up player on the loop, defensive tackle. Andre Monroe getting a decent shot at Matthews there. We've seen a couple times Matthews demonstrating his poise. Standing in there to make the throw. A couple times taking a hit in exchange for completions already.
9th play of the drive, ticking down to 3 minutes opening quarter. Riders show blitz, then rush 4. Screen pass to Ford, and down he goes. Jeff Knox Jr. adds to his tackle total this season. In fact, now is the leading tackler in the Canadian Football League.
Well, this is a huge play from Jeff Knox because the Hamilton Tiger Cats had numbers in terms of the execution of this screen. You're going to see they're going to let the rushers get upfield. And look at the number of blockers out there. 3 or 4 guys, and it's just Jeff Knox in white. Number 49 comes out on top, making the tackle, forcing the Tiger Cats into this field goal situation.
Justin Medlock, 30 of 34. 25-yarder for the first points of the ball game. 3-zip Hamilton. And the former Ticat trying to get his team moving the football once more. KG, Kevin Glenn, in his return to the Steel City. Kevin Glenn, Saskatchewan Roughriders offense on the field. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Rod, as you said earlier in the broadcast, Kevin Glenn really has been the best insurance policy in the CFL. But this season, with all the Riders have dealt with, Glenn has understood maybe more of the leadership qualities that he can bring. He was injured earlier in the season with a chest injury, and even though he's tried to reassure his players about the playoff picture, the real essence for him has been being in the meeting rooms, being in the film rooms, telling guys to worry about the details. Not when he was injured in particular, he always wanted to be a presence because everything he's been through, on all the teams he's been through, he's understood his presence, being a leader, is the greatest motivation tool that he can offer his teammates. Guys?
Thanks so much, Matt. 6 of 7 is Glenn. First and 10. Rolls out. Kevin Glenn says, despite this record and how things look gloomy right now, this team has stuck together.
The one thing that we have is the togetherness as a team. You know, we've never, I think, broken that throughout the year, especially with the kind of the situation that we've been in all year. You know, you could easily, the team could have easily split. You know, and that's the one thing that I can say about this team in this locker room that we haven't. You know, we've always stuck together.
Well, even in trying times, it began in game 1 of the season. Glenn now stays in, and first down. Rob Bagg, far side, will move the sticks. Big hit down there, and Bagg did not get the worst of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I wonder with Corey Watman making his first start at center, I'm not sure if crowd noise was an issue here or communication in terms of the blocking scheme. First, the running back, Jerome Messam, came up to check something, and then they're very close to taking a time count violation here in terms of getting those calls made and getting everybody set. So again, I'm not sure if there's having an issue due to crowd noise with communication at the line, or if Watman maybe isn't quite as quick as Dan Clark in terms of communicating those calls.
Well, Jalil Carter did go down. He stayed in, got up, and now he does go down after initiating contact with Rob Bagg. How about Kevin Glenn, though? His career's come full circle in many ways. It may not be over, the teams that he could still go to. He says he wants to keep playing till maybe 40. Talking about Henry Burris with him yesterday and how Hank is having such a great year. Moving up the ladder, all-time touchdown passes. He still does not have the one thing he has always coveted, a Grey Cup ring. But the thing about Kevin Glenn, he's been around this league. He's the traveling man.
Absolutely. Kevin Glenn in this 9-team league hasn't necessarily played for all of them, but has been property of 7 of 9 teams in the Canadian Football League. So maybe a few more years he might round out the set.
We'll give you a trivia question. We know the answer, but for those of you out there, who has he not been property of? We'll give you the answer in the next play. Over the top and gets left, can't hang on. And the answer is?
Kevin Glenn has never been the property of the Montreal Alouettes nor the Edmonton Eskimos. He's never played a game for Toronto or Ottawa, but he has actually been under contract to those two teams at different times.
Do you think he has a jersey in his basement? Because he might be. I'm not sure if he has an Argo or a red-black jersey, but tell you what, everywhere he's gone and played, he's played well through the years. Small guy, big heart. Good playmaker. There he goes again. Just missing down the rail, looking for Dressler. Dressler wanting a penalty on that far side. Thought he might have been interfered with on that route.
He got tangled up briefly with Brandon Stewart. Dressler's the number 2 receiver into the boundary, just inside those numbers. And there you see, he caught Stewart with contact beyond 5 yards on that out and up move.
Barring penalty, final play, opening quarter. Just 3 points on the board. Brandon Banks fields this now at his 25. There's one miss. But then he is corralled at the 23. 39-yard boot from Ray Early. Not much on the board here tonight so far offensively. Cats looking to end a 2-game skid. Riders looking to get beyond 2 wins in the season on Wendy's Friday Night Football. 3, Paul McCallum missed a field goal. 3-0 the score right now. See the rushing yards with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. For the moment, a team that doesn't run the football very much, if at all. But I know you'd like to talk about a running back named Ford anytime you can, and not you.
Definitely not me. Much faster, much more talented than I ever was. Michael Ford is making an impact for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 3 carries, 28 yards in the first quarter of this ball game, and an indication from offensive coordinator Tommy Condell over the last couple of weeks that they're going to lean on that ground game a little bit more to help out Jeff Matthews, take a little bit of pressure off of him in that backfield.
Well, we'll see if they initiate that ground attack again here in this drive. One thing that Matthews has not had going for him tonight is good starting field position. Long fields for the rookie quarterback in this season full of rookie quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League. 6 receivers for Matthews. Decides to jump up, and he's going down. John Chick wraps him up and rips him down. See where the spot is here. And it is indeed behind the line of scrimmage, so that is a sack.
John Chick, that would go down as number 9 on the season for him.
Just beyond the line of scrimmage, so 2nd and 10.5 really. Deep drop for Matthews, lets it go. He's got Underwood. He's underneath coverage. Big gain here for the Tiger Cats. Tell you, this kid can chuck it.
Well, he absolutely can, and what allowed him to chuck it here is Michael Ford getting it done without the ball. He's got to track across the formation to get Tyrone Brackenridge, the linebacker. That's his guy in protection. You got to track him wherever he goes. So he slides all the way across the formation. That block allows Jeff Matthews the time to make that deep throw.
Near sideline for Bakari Grant. Grant, one of the guys in the Cats MASH unit this season. They've had a number of injuries, but good to have Bakari Grant back in their offense. He can do a lot of this.
Well, they've had to rely on that depth in the receiving core all season, the position where I would say they've been hardest hit by injuries this year. Grant out for an extended time. Allowed Sinkfield and Underwood to get in the lineup. Those guys have been terrific. Now with Terrence Tolliver down, Underwood gets another opportunity to play.
Once again, Michael Ford is Mr. Second Down here tonight. 4-yard pickup. They'll move the sticks again, reset. And they'll go 1st and 10 from the 39.
Michael Ford again with just a good hard run up the middle. Offensive line gives him a crease. Recognizes the situation in terms of down and distance. There's no point dancing. Just lower your head and move the sticks.
Matthews barks out the signals. He has Underwood and Sinkfield as his wideouts right now. 3 receivers top of your screen. Settles in again. Lots of time. Crossing pattern. Once again for Bakari Grant. 4-yard gain, but there is a penalty on the play. Looks like it's going against the Cats.
Holding. Hamilton, number 61. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
Left tackle Joel Figueroa.
Figueroa is a guy that the Cats had really relied on their offensive line in past years, but has battled injuries throughout his Canadian Football League career. Cats ultimately settled on Jake Olsen as their starting left tackle this season. He had been solid in that spot. He got injured in the same game as Claros, so Figueroa draws back in the last couple weeks looking to reestablish himself.
Back at the 49, 1st and 20. Just a 2-man rush now. Swinging it out for Ford. Oh, what a sidestep. Michael Ford told us yesterday his hero growing up was Barry Sanders. As most running backs, tailbacks love to watch and emulate. And that was Sanders like that move right here.
He said one of the things that he really liked, it wasn't so much about Barry Sanders' cuts, which are the main thing that people always talked about, those lateral moves, but how quickly Barry Sanders could accelerate again after making one of those moves. You saw Michael Ford attempting to show a little bit of that on the last play.
2nd and 15 again. A 2-man rush. Underwood dropped the football. First incompletion.
And Underwood's
Jeff
a guy.
Matthews.
Underwood is a guy who's been very, very reliable in terms of catching the football. There you saw the eyes taking a peek at that free safety just as the ball arrived. Matt Webster closing, and that led to the drop ball. When you look at Underwood with his yards per catch in combination with a high receiving percentage. Very productive guy when given the opportunity.
Medlock, nice kick. Nick Dembski. 39-yard kick, still just 3 points on the board. Speaking of running games, you ever try to stop a Mack truck? Big green Mack truck. Nick Jerome Messam. Back home.
Steelers Chargers at 8:15 Monday on ESPN.
Shaw Road to the Grey Cup continues tomorrow. Doubleheader. 2 big games in the West. Eskimo Stamps first place, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Followed by the Blue Bombers and the BC Lions tomorrow night. Talk about critical matchups as we go down the stretch in the 2015 season. There he is, Jerome Messam. -1 in yardage today, but that might change right there. He is such a low. Hence why he is perennially among the rushing leaders in the Canadian Football League.
Jerome Messam, 245 pounds. Tremendous quickness for that size. That run giving him just enough to overtake Andrew Harris for the CFL's rushing lead. How about that? 3 Canadians in the top 4. John Cornish making his way up the list ever since returning from injury.
2nd down, 5. comes the blitz off the edge. Good block. And another drop pass. And we've seen a few of these tonight. And Chris Getzlaff, who is usually Mr. Velcro in these situations, as Glenn gets knocked down. It's the second time that he's dropped a pass here tonight in his return to the Rider lineup.
A big missed opportunity there anytime you're getting the ball deep in your own territory. Whether you're able to march down the field or not, you want to at least be able to string together a couple of first downs to balance out that swing and field position.
All blocked. Blocked football. Near the end zone. Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats with a huge block. There is a flag on the play. Ed Gainey swooping in. Huge block.
Special teams key player for the Hamilton Tiger Cats comes up with a big one here, and this is the matchup we're looking at. Keenan McDougall's out in the slot. He's thinking about just going down and covering the kick, but once his guy starts to come in, he's got to come with them. He doesn't. That leaves Ed Gainey with a free run to the punter early. Great field position for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Neil King in there, knocked it forward. Jeff Reinbold happy with his special teams here tonight.
It's not all about the return game for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Brandon Banks, of course, has taken 4 punts back to the house this year, but from this field position, I just talked about the field position, the Shark smells blood. Decides they're going to take a shot at that block rather than the return. Eddie G comes up with a big one.
Part of this ball hawking secondary as well for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, the former Alouette out of Appalachian State. Jeff Matthews will come in, and they'll be hovering near the goal line here, a chance to get their first major. First time all season the Riders have had a kick blocked.
Well, the unfortunate thing in the communication is the deep back Spencer Moore ended up, his block didn't get taken up in the inside of that protection. That with even better communication, he could have bounced out and taken Ed Gainey. Keep an eye on the deep backs here. You'll see more of the middle man. Could have bounced out to pick up that free player, but the communication wasn't there.
Offside pass, Hamilton. The result is first down.
So after all that,
the attempt by Neil King, who I believe was the first Tiger Cat to get there, attempting to advance the ball. That's called the offside pass.
You could dribble it if you need it. Your foot. But the offside pass will not count. So they'll still get it, though, at the 6-yard line. Jeff Matthews has yet to throw a touchdown pass. Will hand it off to Sinfield, and he is met head-on by the Macho Man.
Oh, this is great recognition from the Saskatchewan Roughriders defense. You'll see Harris will be right on the very left edge of your screen. Recognizes the motion of Sinfield. As soon as he sees that, steps upfield. Deep as the ball carrier is right there to contain, make sure it doesn't get any further outside. He finishes the job himself.
Luke Tasker in motion. Matthews looks for Tasker. Touchdown! And only appropriate that Jeff Matthews' first CFL touchdown pass is to his best friend, Luke Tasker.
Yeah, college teammates at Cornell reunited here this season in the Canadian Football League. Apparently old habits die hard for this dynamic duo.
together with the big red. Now with the black and gold, that's number 1. And the first major of the night, Luke Tasker's 5th touchdown of the season. "32-yard point after." Justin Medlock, number 1 in the CFL in converts, almost 90%, nails another. So 7 points for the Hamilton Tiger Cats off that turnover. The block kick.
Well, special teams picking it up for the offense, providing them with a short field. About all 3 phases. I love this combination of routes. You're going to see Underwood motion down. He's going to pull one defender that way. Grant is going to motion through, pull another defender deep. Finally, Tasker looks like he's going flat. The defender bites. He comes back into the space that the other 2 guys have cleared out for him for an easy touchdown pass from Matthews. There are the 2 clears. There's Tasker coming under late. Easy stuff for Matthews.
Well, you never forget your first one, so Jeff Matthews tonight, again his 2nd start, has played a little bit this season in some garbage time behind Zach Colares. Had yet to throw a touchdown pass. Chatting with another one of his coaches from Cornell upstairs, Tommy Condell. And the 2 former teammates in Cornell, Ivy Leaguers, now Canadian Football Leaguers. Nick Dembski. Still on his feet, finally brought down. 8.5 to go, 2nd quarter. So now the Saskatchewan Roughriders trying to get some traction here offensively. Drop passes have not helped. And another fairly long field, the starting position, the 25-yard line.
Well, Saskatchewan's a team that's obviously had its issues defensively this year, playing some younger guys, particularly on the back end. At times, to give up that kind of field position on a special teams play certainly doesn't help the cause.
Brown really into it here tonight. Glenn, long toss, far side, and Gainey with a tackle on Naaman Roosevelt. Roosevelt has been a pleasant addition to the Rider lineup. Last 3 games had 8 catches. I say only 8, but for big yardage.
Yeah, well, we looked at that 21.4 yards per carry. Or excuse me, per catch average that he entered the game with. Rather gaudy in today's Canadian Football League with a lot of short, quick passing underneath routes and so on.
2nd and 2. They'll give it to Messam, and he's stopped short. Simone Lawrence. Shoot top tackle. And it'll be 3rd down. They're going to keep the offense on the field here, or will they?
Well, you see the formation, the double tights from the Saskatchewan Roughriders, basically trying to flatten out the defense, give them an extra gap on each side to have to defend. But to no avail that time. Simone Lawrence coming up with a big tackle on his buddy and former Edmonton Eskimo teammate, Jerome Messam.
3rd down. 3rd and a long one. They have to get to the 35. Brett Smith, that quarterback, better get there. He does, has the corner. Brett Smith, who's had a couple starts as well, now relegated to backup duty. A 7-yard gain for Smith, and he'll keep the drive going here for Saskatchewan.
I'll tell you, it takes a lot of trust and belief in the play to remain patient here when you're Brett Smith, but he knows he's got a couple extra guys out on the wing. He's got to follow those guys and believe they're going to secure the edge for him. I know a lot of times quarterbacks, you get a little antsy to just try and get it upfield in a hurry.
Glenn to Dressler. Emmanuel Davis with the tackle. It'll be second down and medium again.
Emmanuel Davis, 5 interceptions this season. First 5 of his career, the first 3 of those took them all to the house.
Once again, they shut those instructions out. Messon stays into block. Another quick hitter, and coming back once again is Dressler right at the first down mark. See where the spot is. Looks like he achieved it. It's going to be a first down.
Simone Lawrence looked like he might have a shot to stop Dressler short of the first down, but that little change of direction causes the defender to overrun him, allow him to get that extra yard he needed to move the sticks.
Big Jerome Messon once more. Again, about 6 or 7 yards. Again, the Riders are a bit of a statistical anomaly when it comes to some categories. Again, last or second last in most. They're right up there on first down yardage, 6.24, and a lot of that is on the ground. They initiate via the run, just like that. So it's second and 4. The biggest statistic, though, is that win-loss column. 2 and 12, not good enough. And second and 4, they can't convert. Brandon Stewart all over Weston Dressler like a blanket.
Brandon Stewart, one of the interchangeable parts in the Hamilton Tiger Cats secondary. Teams talk all the time now defensively about wanting to be multiple, wanting to find guys who are versatile, can play different positions in the secondary so that you can do a lot of things from different looks, or the same thing from many different looks, different things from the same look.
No block this time, early. Ball bounces back now. Should be a no yards, it is. And 5 more yards is Brandon Banks lost his shoe, hung on to the football. Right now, the big story. Matthews to Tasker. 10-0 Cat lead.
Hamilton, with the Hamilton Tiger Cats who are leading the Saskatchewan Roughriders 10-0. Ken Austin thinks that Jeff Matthews has so much maturity for his age. The reason why Matthews thinks that is because of his sister Katie, who, when she was a teenager, suffered a very debilitating accident, was paralyzed after a car crash. She now lives in Seattle on her own independently, works at a local hospital, and Matthew speaks to her twice a week. And because she was a former motivational speaker, he says after they talk every time, and her perspective resets Matthew's emotions. He says the 3 things that always come to mind: relax, Jeff, you know what you're doing, just go out and play. Guys?
All right, thank you, Matthew. That's an inspiring story. Jeff Matthews has a lot of reasons to be thankful on a Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, one for his sister who provides a lot of inspiration on a daily basis. And talked a lot about Katie yesterday, and I know she's watching in Seattle somehow tonight. So, Katie, I know that your hero is playing tonight. Brandon Banks, inside sweep. First down for the Tiger Cats off that play.
Well, the Tiger Cats haven't had a ton of success with this play of late. Really, because teams will often key on it when Brandon Banks comes into the game on offense. Not playing as many snaps offensively this year as he did last year, as they really want to keep him fresh because of the impact he can have on special teams. They may have to expand that package a little bit going into the playoffs, though, to force teams to defend different things with Banks in the game.
Matthews again. Escapes one and throws again to Tasker, and Luke has another first down. How about these numbers? Jeff Matthews, 10 of 11. Almost 130 yards in passing so far. Not bad in his second start. Not bad for a CFL rookie. 3-minute warning before halftime.
Stephanie doing the makeup now, getting them all pretty for Live at the Half. Paul Lapalese will have more on a good half for Jeff Matthews. And if you were the Ticats, would you trade for Kevin Glenn? And what would you be willing to give up? More from the panel on 3 Downs.
Oh boy, the panel's stirring it up tonight. Did they ever think when they were playing football, the highest level, they'd be wearing makeup someday on a nightly basis? 2:40 to go, first half. Cats lead 10-0. Michael Ford is pulverized as he had about 3 yards. Then Marcus White finished him off.
Well, Michael Ford might be wishing he went down in that first wave of potential Saskatchewan tacklers, but somehow managed to keep his footing here. That just led to more pursuit. Big Monroe leading the charge.
Jeff Matthews is having a Cornell night here. High percentage, putting up some yardage. Can he keep it going? Why not? And if you're going to have a Cornell-like night, memories of his Ivy League days, why not do it with his battery mate? 21-yard pickup for Luke Tasker.
Still some concerns for the Tiger Cats on that offensive line, though. Matthews managed to get this one away, but having trouble with that switch on the twist. Pete Diakowski a little slow coming off to his man. You don't want to have John Chick running free up the middle too often.
4 catches, 46 yards for Tasker. First and 10 Cats from the Saskatchewan 47-yard line. Jeff Matthews just looks so good here. There he goes again. That one short for Terrell Singfield. Might have been one of his few blemishes so far. Far cry from last week. Keep in mind, his first start last week just happened to be in an absolute windstorm.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some challenges for sure, certainly in terms of his early action in the Canadian Football League, getting thrown into the fire against a tough Edmonton Eskimo defense, and then you combine the wind with having to deal with Rich Stubler's Calgary Stampeder defense in his first start. So he really has been thrown in a tough situation here for the Tiger Cats, but the expectation is with every week of experience he's going to let him get a little bit better, and I think we're seeing that here in his second start.
5 receivers set. Matthews over the top. Underwood hangs on this time. Had a drop earlier. Just 2 incompletions so far. Down inside the 25-yard line. A 23-yard gain and a penalty flag as well.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Saskatchewan number 97. Half the distance to goal, automatic first down.
John Chick lays the hammer here.
Yeah, roughing the passer, but does this twist look familiar? They got to pick this up. I mean, regardless of the 15-yard penalty, they got to figure out a way to get to Chick. The 15 yards doesn't do you any good if you lose another quarterback.
23-yard gain plus the penalty. First and 10 to the Cats at the 12.
Is it Halloween yet?
I think it's always Halloween here.
You gotta love this place, Tim Hortons Field, where at one time these Cats were invincible, 10 wins in a row, but have lost 3 of their last 4 at home. Now sniffing end zone again, and once again, Luke Tasker down to the 6-yard line. Well, Jeff Matthews told us yesterday that one of the big words right now is simplify the offense for him. Make it go a little slower. He has been backing up all season, getting in on some short yardage plays. This is considerably different. But I'll tell you what, for a guy just thrown in, he looks like he's been here a few years.
Yeah, a lot of credit. Anytime you have a situation like this with backup quarterback, young quarterback having success, you got to credit the offensive coordinator for putting him in the position to be successful.
Looking end zone, touchdown, Taquan Underwood. The Jeff Matthews show continues here tonight.
Jeff Matthews looking particularly poised, settled behind that offensive line, whether he's pressured or not. 14 of 16, 186 yards for Jeff Matthews here.
Taekwon Underwood with that high fade. Still don't know how he gets that thing in his helmet. He got the ball in the end zone. 9 plays, 91 yards, 257. Jeff Matthews as Justin Medlock again near perfect this season on one-pointers, but Jeff Matthews so far is taking apart this Saskatchewan defense.
Well, he really is. Double ends from the bottom of your screen. Saskatchewan sitting off a little bit, makes it easy pickings. Matthews to Underwood. That's just a handoff for Jeff Matthews.
And the handoff was to Zach Collaros. And yeah, he's still throwing.
Yeah, the knee hurts, but the arm's still fine. Souvenir for a Ticat fan.
What a strange season in Hamilton. All began with Zach Collaros. Injuries to the receivers. Collaros having an MOP season and now handing the reins to young Jeff Matthews. And tonight, he does not look like a rookie. Dembski. Handled easily by a posse of black and gold. Who would have thought? Who would have thought is the theme for the season when it comes to quarterbacks in the Canadian Football League?
Yeah, and there's a guy who is enjoying an MOP caliber year. We all know that's the level of quarterbacking you need to get through the season to be a Grey Cup contender, leading the Hamilton Tiger Cats to first place position at the time of his injury. Now handing off the keys to the car to Jeff Matthews.
And he's doing a good job driving it. Glenn now. And it's picked off.
Climb the ladder.
High point catch. Brandon Stewart. The sky high for this one.
Well, you see completely different reactions from the receiver, Smith, and the defender. Smith looks at it thinking, that's way overthrown. Brandon Stewart's looking at it going, I can get that. Great athletic play from Brandon Stewart.
Well, Zach Collaros operating like an assistant coach now, but also a big-time cheerleader. Matthews again. Now moves that pocket. Chick in pursuit. John Chick. Tell you what, if you ever questioned the monstrous abilities of John Chick, there's some evidence of how fast this behemoth actually is.
Yeah, for anybody suggesting at age 32 that John Chick is slowing down, you might want to check with Jeff Matthews on that. Almost got him there. Doesn't give up on the play. And there he tracks down a guy probably 50 pounds lighter than him.
2nd and 11. Again, Matthews. Whoa! Instead of stepping out of bounds, he gets the first down. Tell you what, that showed some guts.
Well, you think Jeff Matthews is feeling it a little bit right now? He's got that confidence. He's in the zone.
Final few seconds. One more crack, perhaps, and they might have to bring the field goal unit out. 10 seconds to go before halftime. Hamilton takes a timeout. We chatted with Jeff yesterday about how on the sideline at times we've looked over and he had that red skin on his helmet. so they could see the signals on sideline and how he was champing at the bit to get in the game, and he gets so upset if he didn't get into the game. All he wants to do now is play.
Yeah, Jeff Matthews is an absolute competitor. You saw Jeremiah Masoli now wearing the red bonnet on the sidelines, involved in the play signaling process.
So maybe a chance for one crack here, and then go to Medlock. They've got to be careful the time doesn't expire. They try to throw some more points on, and they'll move it to a hash. Michael Ford's got to go down here, and he does. Moves it to the left hash this time for the left-footed Justin Medlock. So another impressive drive orchestrated by young Jeff Matthews. Coming down to the final play of a first half that started very slowly. Hamilton Tiger Cats are now purring in a serious way.
Stand in the middle. Jeff Matthews finishing on a pretty good roll. And it's not like it's been easy. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have had some heat on him. They put a couple of hits on him, but he's stood in there. He's made plays from the pocket, taking hits along the way. He's used his legs to extend plays and pick up first downs. Doing a nice job.
Hands up! Medlock has made one tonight. This from the 44, and it's good. Last play, first half. 3-0 after one quarter, 17 unanswered by the Cats. And this Cat has been really good so far. Tasker with the hold here.
Yeah, great job with that snap a little bit inside. He saves it, gets it down for his kicker, and Medlock does the rest.
Cats pitching a shutout right now, and the pitcher has been solid. As we send it to the studio, here's Rod Smith and Lapham.
Thank you, Rod. As we begin with the GMC Sierra Coach's Playbook with Paul and Jeff Matthews. Here are the numbers, Coach. And it was his running actually helping set up that late field goal by Justin Medlock. But before that, 15 for 17, 191 yards passing, a couple of touchdown passes as well. I mean, the rookie looking a lot better than he did last week.
Here's one thing I don't like as a former coach is all us media types are trying to say we know better than other organizations. And the Ticats believed in Jeff Matthews. They've had plenty of experience watching him throughout the start of the season, preseason games and everything. Hey, he plays Calgary. He played Edmonton. And one of those games was in a windstorm. So the kid's got abilities. Trust the organization. Watch this. Using his legs. He's not a scrambler, but he can manage well enough, as you said, Rod. He got a nice first down. Watch this. Off coverage. Throws to come back on the outside versus free access. Good decision here. Watch his feet here. 1, 2, 3, hitch, throw the ball on time on the corner route on the outside. Excellent timing, understanding where to go with the football. So I like what he's done. They've done a good job calling it. They're not taking anything off the game plan. This is not a heavy run game plan. They're throwing the football. They hit the post here on the backside. And again, they catch him in a bunch. Okay, wide open throw here. That's pretty easy for him to be able to do. So this kid's got some abilities, and I, certainly you're going to say, well, they're playing Saskatchewan, worst defense in the league. It's not his fault they're playing Saskatchewan. He's making his plays against that defense. So good stuff for him. Good numbers.
They're also playing in different weather conditions than last week, too, when the wind was so strong. So is this maybe a more fair assessment of what he can do?
Yeah, certainly. And again, like I started before, the coaches believe in him, and I know you guys are going to hit 3 downs, talk about trading for veterans. You still the guy's got to learn a system. This kid's been in the system for a long time.
Well, it certainly doesn't look like they need to trade for Kevin Glenn right now. Matthews is having the better first half, but that's been a rumor that's been floating around, and when I asked the panel what they'd be willing to give up to, although it's Matthews looking awfully good, and the Ticats too, with a 20-0 lead, back with 3 downs. This season, Tim Hortons is making sure you catch all of the biggest moments of the season. Those unbelievable catches and hard-hitting tackles, you can watch them live as they happen, or you can view them again and you can share them with friends. Go to tsn.ca/CFL must-see. At the half at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton, it's the Ticats leading it, and a good performance by Jeff Matthews, too, 20-0 over Saskatchewan, which leads me to another stellar edition of 3 Downs with our panel of Jock Climby, Milt Stiegel, and Chris Schultz. This panel, by the way, saying they didn't think the Tiger Cats could win the Grey Cup with Matthews as their quarterback. So, hypothetically, if Hamilton wanted to deal for Kevin Glenn, this is first down, Jock, what would you give up for Kevin Glenn? Would that be A, a starting player, B, a first to third round draft pick, C, 4th to 7th rounder, or D, you can audible?
I'm going D. I'm audibling to all of the above. You need to get a veteran in place with the playoffs coming. I mean, maybe not a starter, but an injured starter, because Hamilton's got lots of those they could deal. But look, yeah, we're all talking about how Matthews is doing so well in this game. He's playing against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who are dead last in passing yards, giving up over 300 yards a game. Do not judge this game by any measure. Get Kevin Glenn if I'm Hamilton.
I agree with you, Jock, but I'm not going to give up a starter or somebody on my roster right now. I'm going to give up a 4th through 7th round draft pick. That's somebody who we really don't know about, somebody who may not pan out. But I'm not going to give up somebody who's affecting my team right now. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm giving up nothing. I mean, you develop a football team not through a mercenary sense, but by developing players. What is the purpose of your entire offseason, guys, to find football players? I'm keeping the kid. I'm developing the kid. I think he has some talent. No way. No way, Rod.
Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Jonathan Jennings looking very good against the Riders last week. Outstanding game, which leads us, Milt, to second down. Should BC start Jennings even if Travis Lulay is healthy?
I'm going to say yes. And it has nothing to do with Lulay's play. I don't think he's totally healthy. You know, over the last 2 or 3 years, he's been injured. Shoulder, knee, whatever it may be. And bringing him back in, if he gets injured again, you just mess up the chemistry on your team. Jonathan Jennings, I know it was against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but I think he's showed enough to be the starter.
Yeah, I'm going with Jonathan Jennings because he does things that you can't necessarily coach. He has unique athletic ability, and he has that ability to throw the football with velocity off balance. I was extremely impressed with what he did previously. Stick with the kid.
Third down, Schultze, coming up after you.
Yeah, after me. I want to get in on this, Rod, because, well, actually, maybe you don't, because my answer is going to sound a lot like my last answer, which is, no, Lulay's in. You need experience at this time of the season. Jennings had a great game against Saskatchewan. Matthews was having a great game against Saskatchewan. Does not count. Get Lulay in the game.
Sorry, I was calling an audible there. It was out of place. Don't feel heard. Third down, Schultze. Trevor Harris had comeback win in Ottawa for the Argos. Should he get the starting job the rest of the way, even if Ricky Ray is completely healthy and ready to go?
Absolutely. 10 plays, 74 yards, 1 minute and 47 seconds. That's all I got to say. He won that game.
Well, you know what my answer is going to be? Go with experience. It's a theme. I'm consistent, if nothing else. Ricky Ray.
They didn't play Saskatchewan, though, so it doesn't matter, right?
Still a theme. I'm still sticking with it.
I'm with Harris. I was with Harris even before the comeback. He should be the starter.
I'm about to throw to break. Would you like to interrupt me or anything as I say?
No, I actually would rather.
The score at the half?
It's 20. Just be quiet for a second, Rod. Score is 20-0. Hamilton Tiger Cats. Saskatchewan Roughriders, as mentioned earlier, giving up 300 yards passing a game.
Does Saskatchewan beat Saskatchewan if they played against them, Jock?
It would be 100 to 100.
I'll never steal your line again. Live at the Half is brought to you by Wendy's Barbecue Pulled Pork Poutine and Sandwich. Wendy's. Now that's better. Sunday Night Football this weekend continues when the San Francisco 49ers take on the New York Giants. You can catch it at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, 5:15 Pacific, right across the TSN network. As for this game in Wendy's Friday Night Football, Ticats 20, Riders nothing. Here's Jock with the stats.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Kevin Glenn was asked about the trade rumors to Hamilton, whether he'd welcome a chance to go back. And he said, hey, if I wanted to go to Hamilton, I would have gone when I was a free agent. He's actually playing like he wants nothing to do with going to Hamilton. 67 yards passing. He's being outplayed right now by the rookie.
One of the Ticat touchdowns scored by Luke Tasker, standing by now with Matthew Shinetti.
Jeff Matthews told us yesterday about simplifying the offense. How was that execution in the first half?
Yeah, you can see he's got a new level of confidence, you know. And we talked about it all week. It was going to come from our preparation, and so I think he was just highly prepared, and that's why he's playing so free and so fast.
He often speaks, and you developed with him in college, he often speaks about your relationship. What other advice did you have for him this week?
I was with him last night. I said, I mean, this is the best job in the world, you know. There's no better work than this, so if we go out here today and don't enjoy this, then, you know, how could you do that to yourself? And I think he's a guy who's a perfect example of someone who understands that we're playing a game out here. He has a blast doing it.
Excellent.
All right, guys.
There was a 9-yard touchdown pass from Matthews to Luke Tasker to open things up for the Cats over the Riders. They've opened it up some more, now leading by 20. Second half kickoff at Tim Hortons Field. Coming up on Wendy's Friday Night Football.
It's Friday Night Football. Come on.
Body bag cancer. Let's go.
Phillies Friday Night Football rolls on here from Hamilton tonight. Ticats lead 20-0, a 17-point second quarter. Here's linebacker Jeff Knox with Matthew Shinetti.
Jeff, with the injury to Alex, how does the defense have to change?
Man, we got to. Alex is a big part of our defense, so we won't need somebody to step up and get more pressure for him, man. Because Alex is a good player, and he's a really big part of our defense. So somebody got to step up and get some pressure.
Despite what Jeff Matthews did in the first half, how do you guys unsettle him in the second half?
Oh man, we're gonna come out and play hard now, bro. Like we see that he's a ball player, man. And say we got to try to slow him down now because he's on the roll. So if we could get some pressure on him and slow him down a little bit, I think we'll be okay in the second half.
Appreciate this.
Oh man, thank you.
I don't think the Saskatchewan Roughriders should have been waiting to try and slow Jeff Matthews down in this ball game. Young quarterback, they should have been trying to set the tone. Didn't happen. Matthews now has momentum. He's got confidence. It'll be a little bit harder to stop here in the second half.
Again, the Cats won the toss at the beginning of the game, deferring to the second half. They'll have the win with them in the fourth quarter. Right now, doesn't look like they're going to need it. Not getting much resistance from the Roughriders offensively. Nick Dembski slashes up near the 26-yard line. Kevin Glenn brings out the offense. Or is he going to bring out his offense?
Illegal
no, he will not.
Saskatchewan, number 98.
Kevin Glenn on the sideline right now.
First down.
Brett Smith will enter the huddle.
So you heard the boys talking at halftime. I want you to weigh in on it. Kevin Glenn coming here talking about having a veteran presence for a team trying to get to a third straight Grey Cup game.
Well, Kevin Glenn is a guy who has proven in his career to be a very good leader, a well-respected and well-liked teammate, a guy who's been to the Grey Cup, taken teams to the Grey Cup a couple of times. I'm not necessarily convinced that the Hamilton Tiger Cats are a team that's going to risk, though, changing the dynamic that they've got.
Once again, Naaman Roosevelt, penalty flag down. Season that went off the rails early for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Holding Saskatchewan, number 89. Half the distance to goal. Repeat, first down.
And it's just been a confluence of events, negative events for the Riders. A lot of losses, 9 in a row that piled up. Game 1, week 1, Darian Durant. You know, all the boundless optimism that they had in Saskatchewan, that quickly went out the door. They fired their coach, Corey Chamberlain. The team 2 years removed from winning the Grey Cup. First and 18 now. Smith again will try to move the pocket and roll out. He's pushed out of bounds. Well, let's go to the sideline with an update on Kevin Glenn. Here's Matthew.
Guys, as the Riders went out, the Riders told me, one of the representatives told me that Kevin Glenn is done for the day, and interestingly, no injury. So he will not be returning for tonight. It is Brett Smith the rest of the way, guys.
The way the guys were talking in the studio, this trade could happen middle of the game.
Well, I was going to say that that'll just fuel speculation that maybe something is in fact done. But
have we ever had a trade in the middle of the game where they just walk to the other sideline? Again, just scuttlebutt, rumors, but much of it making some sense. Smith is picked off. Courtney Stephen. Jerome Messam tackling him. Another turnover. It just gets worse here for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, just tonight on life support for this season.
Courtney Stephen comes up with a career-high third interception of the season playing on that wide side corner. And we talk all the time in a five-man unit, whether it's the O-line or the secondary, about the importance of communication. Watch how effectively he and his halfback, Emmanuel Davis, execute the switch here. No hesitation whatsoever. That leaves Stephen in perfect position when that ball is underthrown to react and get to it. There's no separation because of a delay in terms of the communication of who's covering whom.
Up the gut goes Michael Ford. 3 turnovers by the Riders tonight. A pick by Glenn, a pick by Smith, and also the blocked kick 10 points for the Tiger Cats off of turnovers. And they look to seize the moment once again, smelling some blood. A Ticat team that has scored an astronomical 147 points, make it 157 now, off of turnovers this season.
It's a team that surely understands offense, defense, special teams are all very heavily intertwined.
Here's the blitz, and again another slant. They're saying it's incomplete. Junior Mertiel out there watching Taekwon Underwood. Underwood has a touchdown in this game, so the best the Cats will do after this turnover is another field goal attempt by Medlock.
And not a lot of protesting there from Underwood, which is maybe the biggest indication. Very clear look there. I know Underwood was frustrated if you caught him on the sidelines in the first half after he had a rare drop, because he's a guy who's proven to be pretty sure-handed. The fact that the drop in the first half of this ball game prevented him from hitting the century mark in yards for the first time this season.
They're trying it all here tonight.
Close to the sticks, but we'll see where the spot puts this one.
Let's take a look once again as the gadget was on all the way. Tasker pulls it down.
Eric Harris, linebacker who already has a touchdown reception on his career resume here in the CFL. Just short of the first down that time.
So a turnover on downs. No points on the board. Luke Tasker wanted to play quarterback. Has a completed pass, but no first down.
A big play from free safety Matt Webster, guy who's earned his way into the Saskatchewan Roughriders starting lineup this year. He recognizes the wing on the backside. Eric Harris is going to start motioning. Watch how quickly Webster reacts. He sees him come across the formation. He tracks him all the way downhill. Perfect one-on-one tackle in open space to snuff out that Ticat scoring opportunity.
Former fifth-round pick back last year. Queens Golden Gale. Long field. And as usual, that Ticats defense clutching down again. And how key is it for them to get Eric Norwood back, particularly at this time of the year?
Yeah, great timing. Adrian Tracy played very well in Norwood's absence. That defensive end spot. Tracy now on the injured list. The Norwood's return couldn't be more timely. The guy who's a true impact defensive player in the Canadian Football League.
Well, they need to get a first down here or they might be giving up the safety. Smith. Now he steps up and scampers, and Brett Smith shows his legs. Streaking out past the 35-yard line, and this is one element that Brett Smith has over Kevin Glenn, who doesn't do a whole lot of this. Smith can go.
Yeah, the ability to use his legs as a weapon, whether by design or purely for survival, as it was in this case with Ted Laurent coming up the middle. Good decision by the young quarterback and an even better run. Comes into this game averaging over 7 yards a carry.
3 carries in this one, 35 yards. Confusion in the backfield, play action, and Dressler couldn't hang on. So Brett Smith, you know, we talk about Kevin Glenn coming in and the kind of struggle it's been, and Brett Smith has had his chances too, as sporadic as they have been for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Must be hard for this young man to harbor any confidence as well. And looks like he may have even nicked up that throwing hand.
Yeah, it looked like he landed on it while carrying the ball there on that scramble. No way he wants to leave this ball game, though, with an opportunity to get some playing time.
Got some time, goes deep, and Weston Dressler, he can race now. Not going to be caught. Weston Dressler scores. A 79 Weston Dressler was alone on his own island. The only thing between him and the goal line was daylight.
Well, clearly a bust on the back end for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Brett Smith and Weston Dressler take the ultimate advantage.
So finally, the Riders find the end zone. They will kick the 32-yard point after. Dressler stays on to hold. So I think Smith's hand's all right, by the way.
Looked okay throwing that ball. And how huge was the stop on the fake field goal by Matt Webster?
Well, don't go away yet, Rider fans. Suddenly some life. 20-7. Going into that play, the Riders had played 58 quarters of football this season, 16 of which they had not scored a point. So finally, in this third quarter in this game, they are on the board.
You see both defenders went to Rob Bag in the flat. Nobody went deep. With Weston Dressler, he ends up wide open on the play.
Fourth touchdown for Dressler, and again, Brett Smith nursing that hand.
And this was before the touchdown pass. Clutching that hand. And it was even his immediate reaction after he threw the ball. Little celebration, but grabbing the hand again right after he got rid of the football.
What? I didn't think it was. No, I just took off.
Now, Brandon Banks down the sideline. Penalty flag on the play. 64-yard return for Banks. But something he's getting used to hearing.
It's coming back.
This guy might set a record this season for most long punt returns returned back into your own zone.
Holding. Hamilton, number 15. 10-yard penalty. First down, Hamilton.
And of course, the Grey Cup game last year in Vancouver, the one that everyone will always talk about, the return for a touchdown that came back and really cost the Cats.
If you read Kent Austin's lips, by the way, he said, I'm pretty sure it was 45 Gascon Nadal, because it wasn't Jeff Matthews who got the holding penalty on the return.
So Matthews in the shotgun again, and even though Hamilton has owned the Riders in this game, suddenly Saskatchewan showing a little pushback here. And another injured rider on the play.
Well, not just another injured rider, but another injured rider defensive lineman. Appears to be Andre Monroe, who's down. Alex Hall already out of this game with a knee injury.
Oh, just another awkward hyperextension, it looks like.
Taken out by his own teammate there.
Already had Alex Hall leave the game on a cart. They're working on Monroe for the moment. We'll step aside and come back to Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. This is an election like no other. October 19th looms. More journalists, more digital extras, more live locations. Stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of election 2015. As close as the CFL East right now, I would say. Not that I'm a pollster. Not that I'm really heavy into politics. But there's a good sign right there. Andre Monroe actually jogged off the field. Matthews, quick hitter, almost picked off. And as we mentioned earlier before going to break, as good as the Cats and dominant as they have been here tonight, they can't sleep on this lead right now.
No, not a chance. Not a chance. And I understand the gamble that they were taking to really try and bury the Roughriders going for the fake field goal, giving that field position, and the easy reaction is even if they don't make it, they've got the Roughriders pinned deep. Well, suddenly the Roughriders got out of it in a big way.
There's Nick Dembski. He is hammered at the 50, and again, pink nylon on the field. Penalty flags on this return. There is the Manitoba Bison, former star there, and he has made quite an impact in his first year in the CFL.
21. 10-yard penalty, first down Saskatchewan.
Takes the ball back.
And I think Saskatchewan could have a decent case for rough play here on the takedown of Dembski. I believe it was the long snapper Aaron Crawford who came in high. What looked like a clothesline.
Right there. He had a really good point. Dembski felt like a punching bag there. 1st and 10. Brett Smith stays in. Sore hand and all. Smith. Saskatchewan team that saw Smith come off the sideline last week as well. Just 1 for 4 in this game, but that's a big one. The touchdown to Dressler, but losing last week in BC, basically losing to Jonathan Jennings 46-20, but Smith put up some numbers late.
Well, they got beat by a rookie quarterback last week, trailing to 1 this week, so they look to counter with one of their own here in the second half.
Year of the rookie quarterback in the CFL. Again, Smith rolls now, in trouble, and down he goes. Eric Norwood flexes his muscles. And the first Hamilton sack of the ball game, the 6th of the season for Norwood.
Yeah, and his first game back after missing the last 4. Norwood's going to come from depth here, as you saw that 3-man front in the initial alignment. We've seen a number of times in this ball game where Norwood, his initial alignment has him as a linebacker. Outside linebacker in college, pass rusher from that spot for the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Oh, very close to being blocked. This is a huge kick from early. Banks might have room here. Nope. Swallowed up.
We do this.
Quickly downfield. 20-7 the score on Wendy's Friday Night Football.
Oh yeah, one love. Let's get it. D-line and hit up, baby. We run.
$1 million prize.
Michael Ford in the huddle, ready to go once again with his story. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Guys, the one thing that Michael Ford can boast about that no other player on the field can, because he was on 2 Sports Illustrated covers in 2011 as a member of the LSU Tigers. As a running back, Ford is first seen on the cover jumping over an Oregon defender, and he did admit yesterday that he has it in frames. He has a couple signed copies. Sometimes teammates ask for it. Not many have asked for it in Hamilton, and in the case of the second cover, that's a good thing because it's a shot of Ford being tackled by the Alabama Crimson Tide when LSU lost 21-0 in the 2012 National Championship game. Guys?
Yeah, I don't think he has too many copies of that one. The first one, hey, how many guys could say they're on 2 covers of Sports Illustrated?
Well, no kidding. And, you know, as for that second cover, he'd get lots of support on this team because he's surrounded by LSU guys.
Yeah, good point.
Pete Diakowski, Terrence Tolliver, Drake Nevis.
Far side for Bakari Grant. Well, Mr. SI usually has one thing in mind.
When the play is called as a run play, I'm dreaming about the end zone. That's my goal, is to always think about the big play. I'm always thinking about the big play. I want the big play to happen. Everybody wants the big play to happen. If you never think about it happening, it's not going to happen. So when they call my number, I'm already, I want the big play. I want the big play. I want the big play.
Well, he is a big play guy. See if he can find a way to the end zone. Has yet to score a CFL touchdown. Oh, look out now. Terrell Sinfield. Nobody's catching you. You're gone. You can walk it. 87-yard touchdown to the house. That looked like the Weston Dressler touchdown. Are both of these defenses playing without a guy tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Dressler You've got the quick hitter near the line of scrimmage, but a missed tackle right there. Marche Green can't wrap him up, and there's nobody over the top helping him out. Sinkfield, maybe the fastest player on this Tiger Cat team. We're still waiting for that race between he and Brandon Banks.
I can't wait for that. And you know, Speedy B's on the sideline right now saying, hey, I'm going to have my turn here tonight. What a season it's been for Terrell Sinkfield for him.
Yeah. One of the breakout stars of the Canadian Football League here in 2015.
Ain't nobody taking me there.
Again, a penalty flag is thrown.
Hamilton, number 17. 5-yard penalty will retry the convert.
So they'll do a 37-yard point after. Time count. So a longer one for Medlock. Best in the CFL this season on point afters. Almost 97% now. Terrell Sinkfield, you have scored 5 touchdowns this season. That one was a dash.
And it starts with the protection. Keep an eye on the running back, Michael Ford. Now, running backs who can run are great, but there's lots of them. Running backs who can catch are terrific too. Guys who can block are like gold. Great job by Ford. Keep an eye on Sinkfield here in the slot. Marche Green's the guy providing the coverage. Straight man, he's responsible for him. Not square on the tackle. Sinkfield's got an edge to make a miss. And he is off to the races.
Yards. Jeff Matthews now has 3 touchdown passes on his young CFL career.
What was that? What was that? It was dead, but it was way to shoot.
Look at this night for Terrell Sinkfield.
But it was hot. So I just slowed up.
That's a career high tonight. 3 catches. 20-point lead is restored. Dembski wrestled out by Jalil Carter with under 6 to go in the third quarter. And that was what the doctor ordered for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who seemed to be sputtering offensively a little bit in the second half.
That gave up a little bit of momentum after being stopped on the missed field goal, or excuse me, the fake field goal attempt, and then the Smith to Dressler bomb. And that one gets these fans off their hands in a big way.
Not too often, within a couple minutes, do you see a couple of 80-yard specials. Offensive fireworks now. And again, the Saskatchewan Roughriders just barely breathing now, and their hopes, faint hopes for a playoff spot. Again, coming in, they had to run the table, then cross their fingers and legs and hearts. And they get a lot of help down the stretch. They knew it was a tall order coming in. Second and 5. Swinging it up to Anthony Allen. Allen is plastered near the 47-yard line, and the spot is going to be, it looks like, a little bit short of a first down. So it'll be third down territory here. And Riders are going to bring out the big boys.
Well, they're trying to go short yardage. The right tackle, Jamarcus Hardrick, was hobbling around out there. He got cut down. He was one of the lead blockers on that play and got cut down by a defender. Very slow to get up. And keep an eye on him on this short yardage play.
Smith behind center. More motion here. And he's able to squeeze forward and get the first down and silence the crowd here. Just over 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. We talked about Saskatchewan's hopes, and of course for Hamilton, A year ago at this time, they were just trying to clamber back to 500. Eventually got to the East Final, got to the Grey Cup game. Different story, of course, this time around, and with a win, would be alone in first place in the CFL East as Week 16 continues. First and 10 again for Smith. Play action. Look at that move. And another. Looks like Darian Durant. Ball thrown out of bounds.
That's the way you catch the ball.
Simone Lawrence always has something to say. Smith wisely throwing that away.
Yeah, good decision by the young quarterback. He created the bomb to Dressler. A very similar situation, scrambling around, eyes downfield. And I know the temptation could easily be there to try and force one. As you see the injured Darian Durant traveling with his team.
Riders just have never been able to come back from that early season adversity. Game 1, Getzlaff stretches close to the midfield stripe. They'll be well short again. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
Well, Simone Lawrence does a nice job to track this play. Keep an eye on number 21 on the right side of your screen. Gets cut down by the center, Corey Watman, but recovers just in time to make the tackle.
Well, let's see if Speedy B has an answer to Terrell Sinkfield's big run. Nice angled kick here. No chance for Brandon Banks. Good boot from Ray Early. Pins them inside the 10-yard line. Time for our sack attack. Look at the Purelator sack tally. Tackling hunger across Canada. A promise we can all help deliver.
Look for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to maybe get a little boost in that number with the return to the lineup of Eric Norwood. He's got one here tonight, giving him 6 on the year. And how about those Ottawa Redblacks?
How about them? Right in the fight here for first place.
Leading the sack tally.
That really has been the difference. They talk about the offense in Ottawa, which has been improved, but their defense drastically improved. 4-man rush. Matthews again over the top. Giovanni Aprile looking for his first CFL catch into the ball game here. Former Queens product. Aprile coming into the game.
Well, Aprile getting an opportunity to play here following injuries, first to Andy Fantuz, then to Matt Coates. They're looking to start a Canadian in that receiving corps. Aprile gets the call, former second-round pick of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Matthews again. And over the top, Bakari Grant. First down up near the 20-yard line. Bakari Grant shaking off some rust. A few weeks on the injured list, away from the lineup.
Here's a look at a pretty good battle at the line of scrimmage. Joel Figueroa maybe getting the hands up a little high on John Chick. Trying to slow down Chick, who spent a lot of time in that Hamilton backfield here tonight.
Oh, and finally going down. Terrell Sinkfield gets a chance to run the football.
Tay George got a big paw on him to slow him down in a hurry. Remarkable that George still looking for his first sack this season. A guy who's typically among the top defensive tackles in the Canadian Football League in that category.
Deep drop again. Matthews slinging. Bakari Grant with some yards after the catch. And Jeff Matthews was able to get rid of that football. And back near the 15-yard line is an injured Ticat.
Yeah, left tackle Joel Figueroa was slow to get up after that one. But again, you see Matthews with some pressure on him, standing in to make a throw.
Akari Grant banged up as well. And keep in mind, Grant missed 6 games. Came back last week against the Calgary Stampeders. Matthews continuing to torch the Riders. 19 of 24, 316. Final play, third quarter. Now moves the pocket once again. Against the grain, looking for Brandon Banks. Macho Harris on him. So that is the final play of the third quarter. Both teams score a major touchdown. Both long gainers, big plays. One to Weston Dressler, one to Terrell Sickfield. 27-7 is the score here. Wendy's Friday Night Football from Hamilton continues on TSN.
Lisa Rent Guide.
27-7 Hamilton looking to take first place in the CFL East with a win here tonight. Saskatchewan gets a touchdown from Weston Dressler, but let's talk about Jeff Matthews and the elephant in the room right now, which is a very small elephant, by the way, and that's Kevin Glenn. All the talk before the game about the possible move of Kevin Glenn maybe to Hamilton. I know the guys in the studio have been talking about it all night. How do you think Matthews thinks about all this?
Well, I don't think Matthews cares. If you look at the way he's playing right now, did you just see the statistics on our monitor?
Well, there you go.
Jeff Matthews doesn't care, and I don't think, given the way Jeff Matthews is playing, even if a deal ever were to be made for Kevin Glenn or any other veteran quarterback, I don't think it would be for anything other than insurance, because Jeff Matthews looks just fine.
2nd and 10 for Matthews. And he goes down. John Chick, Tay George. I guess where I'm going with that, Mr. Ford, is that a guy like Matthews hears all the talk and probably, even though he's a young quarterback, has something to prove.
Well, I think you always have something to prove at this level, whether they're talking about anybody else or not. And I don't think anybody within the organization has made that kind of suggestion or said anything like that to Jeff Matthews. But, I mean, this is a guy who's been highly successful through his college career, a competitive guy, a guy who holds himself to a very high standard. And so he's got something to prove regardless.
Dembski. High stepping Nick Dembski. Good return up near the 48-yard line. Well, you can share your best game day pictures and videos on Twitter and Instagram using the hashtag MarksFanCam. You're going to be featured on the CFL on TSN. Visit tsn.ca/MarksFanCam for terms.
Let's have a big hand for those guys.
Or one hand. I tell you, this is a great place to watch football. They got some great fans. And how about the Rider fans who travel everywhere, of course? They always travel well. Not a lot to cheer about this season, but legions that always bring out their green. Dressler. Brown and Stewart lays a licking. No gain.
Well, Stewart is in man coverage on Dressler on this play, so you're going to see as Dressler starts to motion across the formation, Brandon Stewart's going with him. Dressler starts to go, Stewart's going, he sees him run, he's coming downhill.
Early fourth quarter here. Smith on the roll. Ryan Smith can't make the scoop. Punt time again for the Riders.
Yeah, just an underthrow there from the young quarterback. So no Smith to Smith connection this time. Bob Dice, Winnipeg native, a guy who has a wealth of experience at really every level of football in this country. Junior football, CIS, CFL. Now the interim head coach of these Roughriders.
Yeah, all on the prairies, mostly in Manitoba. Wobbly kick. Banks. Big side step. Look out now. Oh, Brandon Banks. He is knocked down at the 48-yard line, a 24-yard return. Friday night in Hamilton. Where would you rather be? The 48. Rod Black, Dwayne Ford, Matthew Shinetti. Our producer, Chris Edwards. Director, Don Landis. Stats guy, John Russin.
Not just stats guy.
You know why I'm saying stats guru? Stats everything. Our whole booth, everybody in the truck, wishing you all a very happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving weekend. Hand off. Michael Ford spins into the arms of Andre Monroe.
Good to see Andre Monroe back in the ball game after he went down with a knee injury earlier on. Former Maryland Terrapin. One of the young guys who's earned an opportunity given the situation with the Saskatchewan Roughriders this season. Looks like a keeper.
2nd and 9. Jeff Matthews now on the roll. Tasker.
Chad Owens would have had that one.
Tell you what, if he made that one, that might have rivaled Chad Owens' catch from the other night. Luke Tasker has made some of these layout grabs. And I thought maybe even on this one.
Yeah, there was a shot. He had some separation from the safety, Matt Webster, there, but just overthrown by Matthews that time.
Field position paramount again. Headlock. Dembski spun to the turf here at Tim Hortons Field tonight. 27-7 the score.
PlayStation.
A little special teams play and a little friendly rivalry going on in this game. Bo Landry, former Western Mustang, by the way. Last couple of Nick Dembski punt returns. It's been Landry with the tackles. Now, he came into this game with 9 special teams tackles on the season. His good buddy and former Western teammate, Dylan Ainsworth, came into the game with 11. So I know these guys were looking to match up a little bit. Mr. Landry wanted to close the gap. Mission accomplished.
You have used up your quota on Western Ontario Mustang references.
You referring to the undefeated Mustangs?
I might be. And almost picked. Penalty flag. Downfield. Emmanuel Davis.
Very, very nearly made it number 6.
Penalty that's going against Saskatchewan, it appears. Procedure call.
Illegal formation, no end. Saskatchewan. The penalties declined. 2nd down.
Again, Kevin Glenn started this ball game. Brett Smith, 2nd half. It's his turn. Needs a couple of big plays here. Bulldozing his way up near the 40 is Messam. Talking with Jamal Westerman last week about Jerome Messam and the water that these guys are drinking in Brampton, and some of the guys who have made it to big league professional football.
Yeah, two guys, couple former high school teammates. We did talk a little bit about it last week.
He said he's a great basketball player.
Yeah, he said he was a better basketball player than a football player in high school, but pretty cool to have the league's leading rusher and league leader in sacks both be from the same Canadian high school.
And Brett Smith is sacked. Simone Lawrence adds Brett Smith to his hit list.
Simone Lawrence stacked in behind the line of scrimmage here. He's coming late. Wraps Smith up. Sack number 5 on the season for him. You saw the Roughriders that time having a little bit of trouble picking up the moving defender on the twist.
2 sacks for the Cats. Norwood and Simone Lawrence. Smith has to get it away in a hurry. Crossing pattern. Getzlaff up near the 48. Be about 3 yards short of a first down. Maybe a long 2. It looks like 2 yards.
The Riders look like they thought about it for a bit, but they're going to send out that punt team.
Wind has died down here late in the ball game. Was a heavier breeze earlier. And once again trying to keep it away from Banks. Takes a funny hop. No yards. They'll move that out of 5 yards. Cats look like they're on their way to victory.
Ticketmaster.
Helping tackle women's cancers. To further support this weekend's CFL Pink broadcast, visit cfl.ca/pink to find out how you can help raise funds to tackle women's cancers. And there is Mike Filer's biggest fan. His mom, Kim, met her in the pregame show. Someone who has conquered this dreaded disease that has touched so many of us. In fact, all of us at one time or another.
I know Kim is Big Mike's hero. She may be wearing his jersey, but he sure looks up to his mom.
Out of Mount Allison. What a year it's been for Mike Filer, and dealing with his mom's journey as well, but began the season wearing number 68. And then, of course, handed it off to Angela Mosca, which was a stirring, emotional night. Mosca's number was retired here earlier this season. Matthews again. Threading the needle, finds the window, and Sinkfield is having a monster night.
And Jeff Matthews is just fearless. Watch the white jerseys closing in on him here. Undaunted, threads the needle to Sinkfield.
4 catches, 162.
That'll put Sinkfield over 100 for the 3rd time this season.
Matthews again pulls it back and unable to pull that in, but enough again can't be said about the night this guy's having. Jeff Matthews, the 24-year-old out of Cornell. You know, when he went to Cornell, he was not offered a Division I scholarship to any school, went there, was recruited, as Ken Austin told us yesterday, by Cornell. They wanted him badly. He stayed there as a freshman, got into a ball game, and then never looked back, and absolutely destroyed the Ivy League record book.
Yeah, phenomenal college career. Spent some time Bouncing around a couple of NFL practice rosters, but wanted an opportunity to get somewhere where he could develop.
Matthews again, Underwood. Oh, what a catch! And another dart from Jeff Matthews. 30-yard pickup.
And how about the confidence he has in his receivers to make plays like that? Underwood climbing the ladder to go get that one.
Moving closer to a 400-yard night is Matthews. 375 yards in passing in his second CFL start. Going to give it off to Banks. Speedy B toes the sideline. Walks the tightrope down to the 11-yard line.
First down, Tiger Cats.
And again, Kent Austin against the Riders. I mean, you have to play to every opposition. Doesn't matter what the record is, but the Riders clearly not one of the strongest defenses this season.
Well, they've had their struggles all year long, and this is, as we mentioned earlier, back-to-back weeks in which they have been shredded by rookie quarterbacks.
2 for 4 in the red zone tonight. Looking to strike again. And he might. He will. Oh! Unable to hang on. Brandon Banks thought for a moment he was able to snag that.
Brandon Banks getting an opportunity to play a little offense here. He's got the corner route out of that 3-man cluster. The defender Mertiel gets a hand in there to break things up.
Matthews now looking to the sideline. They got issues with the play clock. It's coming down to 9. I don't think they're going to get this away. 7 now. 5, and you have to take the timeout. And they will. Personnel problem from the beginning. Matthews looked to the sidelines. So they'll burn the timeout. Just under 5 minutes to go here. You know, in the preseason, Chris Schultz and I actually had a chance to do one of the preseason games here in Hamilton, and Matthews played for most of the game, and even Schultz was impressed. And I know it was a preseason football game, but he absolutely shredded the opposition that night. And you kind of had a feeling if he did get a chance, if he could do this again. And I know, again, preseason football, or sometimes you're playing in garbage time, which he played earlier this season and has shown well. But look at these numbers. 21 of 31, 375. I don't care who you're playing against. They make you take notice.
Well, and the key for Jeff Matthews in this ball game is that he's done a pretty good job taking care of the football.
Well, they need this guy right now. And he's going end zone again, and that one is tossed way out of bounds through the end zone. As again, feeling the heat from the Saskatchewan front. Brandon Banks, you get a feeling, just wants a touchdown tonight. And Austin gives some words of advice there, Zach. You know what looked devastating to the Hamilton Tiger Cats' hopes, though, a few weeks ago? Doesn't look as bad right now.
A little bit of confidence for Jeff Matthews. And again, not to beat down the Saskatchewan Roughriders, but as Jock Climby mentioned, a defense that has struggled this year. We want to see how he does against another defensive unit.
Justin Medlock, 3 of 3. 30-7 is the score. Sunday Night Football. 49ers and Giants. 8:15 Eastern, 5:15 Pacific across the TSN network. Might be eating some turkey at that time. Thanksgiving weekend. No turkey is safe with you in the province.
I did a little Thanksgiving shopping today.
Did they give you a limit when you go to the store?
Going with 3 different meats this year for Thanksgiving dinner. I don't see why we should discriminate against beef and pork.
I'd like to know why.
This time of year.
I'd like to know. I'd like to know why the invitations to the rest of the crew have not been.
I don't have enough for the rest of the crew.
There you go. The crazy thing is that I think your family's going away and you're by yourself. Second and 10.
The Ford clan will be gathering.
I don't think this is a Thanksgiving tradition, by the way. Box J boys. I think that is an initiation to become a Box J boy.
Just hope nobody gets handsy over there.
4 minutes to go here tonight. Riders' playoff hopes will end in Hamilton. Smith fumbled the football. Still alive. Brett Smith better go down. He's going to get killed.
So he got sacked, but he didn't have the ball.
They were hunting him down.
And you'll see that initially Hickman trips him up. Oh, Smith never went down. Lost the ball, picked it up, good presence of mind. But he just gets hit again.
You know, in the games that he has played, though, there are flashes of brilliance at times from Brett Smith and his escapability, ability to use the legs. Speaking of using his leg, Burley, Banks gets one block and another. Cutting back up near the 40-yard line. The 3-minute warning is upon us. 30-7 is the score here. Jeff Matthews back out to finish this off.
Holding Hamilton, number 5.
To GMC.
Wendy's Friday Night Football is brought to you by Wendy's Barbecue Pulled Pork Poutine and Sandwich. Wendy's. Now that's better. Another full house here at Tim Hortons Field tonight. Full voice, full dress tonight. They've enjoyed the party. Started early as John Chick takes down Terrell Sinkfield. Sinkfield, one of the game breakers in this one. Story of the night, though, has been the young quarterback, Jeff Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews closing in on 400 yards passing. 4 touchdown passes.
I gave you a bad signal there. It's 3.
3 touchdown passes.
Yes. Almost 4. Luke Tasker, Sinkfield, and Underwood. Matthews still chucking here. Mike Ford, left side. Collision on that far sideline. So big picture here. I mean, Hamilton, again, this is going to go right down to the wire in the East. Next week they have Montreal, then BC, and then back-to-back with the Ottawa Redblacks. It could come down to that final game of the season to decide who will host the East Final.
Well, and it would be fitting.
Don't forget about the Argos.
Season has gone. Can't forget about them. Great comeback victory for them in Ottawa on Tuesday night.
It's kind of funny. Everybody owns a season series on each other. So they can rely on some math in the late going, but it's been a fun place to be in the CFL East this year. Dembski has the corner. Flag down. Let's check out the remaining sched here. Tiger Cats will give them the win tonight. 9-5 now. The Argos in Montreal on Thanksgiving Monday.
Illegal block.
Big game there.
Saskatchewan,
certainly for the Alouettes
41.
as well.
10-yard penalty.
Argos trying to keep pace. Look at strength of schedule for everyone there. funny thing is, strength of schedule, it doesn't matter this season. Any given day, it seems anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah, it's been that kind of year. Certainly in the Canadian Football League. Interesting to see Ottawa's schedule. Really, they only have to prep for 2 teams the rest of the way.
They got a rest right now as well. 2 minutes to go here. Roughriders looking towards the 2016 season. Certainly looking to get a healthy Darian Durant back. Smith, look at this shot to Ryan Smith. He will score a touchdown. The Smiths combine. 68-yard touchdown strike. Brett Smith shows off his arm. Ryan Smith hauls it in.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders quickly fading playoff hopes aside. Some young guys making a case for a future with this team. Ryan Smith got off to such a great start, slowed after a couple of injuries. Turning in the big play there, Brett Smith has battled and hit a couple of bombs today.
Well, they'll go for 2. Brett Smith's 23. Ryan Smith's 24. One from Wyoming. One from North Dakota State. And there's a 2-point convert. There's the North Dakota State Smith from the Wyoming Smith. And an extra 2 points. And a minute 57. Still a 2-possession game. But the Riders would need a couple miracles here.
We'll take a look at Ryan Smith's 4th touchdown catch of the year. That little hesitation, as you saw, got the defender Jaleel Carter's hips turned. Selling the outside release. Once you've got the defender's hips turned the wrong way, it's all over.
For the Hamilton Tiger Cats, there are a couple things defensively. I'm sure they're going to look at film this week. The Weston Dressler touchdown, certainly. That was a big gainer, and that one as well. And Kent Austin. It doesn't matter if they win by 1 or they win by 30. He will devour tape and make sure, and Orlando Steinauer will do the same thing.
Well, very detail-oriented coaches, for sure. Regardless of the score, Orlando Steinauer's face says it all. He hates giving up that late one. It's a blemish to him.
So they'll try the onside kick here. Paul McCallum, former soccer player, puts it up. And it goes out of bounds, untouched. Bodies colliding down there.
Illegal kick out of bounds, Saskatchewan number 15. Ball will be scrimmaged from the point. It went out of bounds. First down, Hamilton.
So Hamilton scrimmage near the 51-yard line.
The Hamilton Tiger Cats love the offensive game plan. Michael Ford heavily involved very early. High percentage passes for Jeff Matthews. Once the quarterback was settled in, the reins came off and they let him go.
Yeah, they played free and fast.
And he's ended up averaging about 17 yards of completion in this ball game.
I think you said it perfectly too, is that they eased him into this start. Didn't come out firing. They had a long gainer to Sinkfield earlier, but it allowed him to get his feet underneath him. And how many young quarterbacks do we see come into the game and they look like they have the deer in the headlights look, or they're trying to do too much too quickly? He didn't have that happen to him tonight.
No, they didn't. They tried to do some things to take the pressure off of him with that ground attack. Once settled, very well prepared to face the rush that he often saw from the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Matthews goes down, another sack here. And once again, Saskatchewan adds to that with Marcus White bringing down Matthews. And I suppose at this time, too, for Kent Austin, you don't want to get this guy hurt. I know all those rumors are out there. Matthew Shinetti was also reporting that, the Ticats are saying now that, or the Riders are saying that there are no talks with Hamilton about a possible trade. After this start, Jeff Matthews can keep doing what he's doing. They may have found something really special here.
Yeah, well, given the history that Kent Austin has with Jeff Matthews, it's not like he's making a decision just based on what he saw in training camp or in a preseason game or in very limited duty. He's got a pretty decent body of evidence on Jeff Matthews. He knows what he's dealing with and has a pretty good idea of what the upside of this young man is. So we'll see going forward if that proves to be enough for the Hamilton Tiger Cats as they make this push towards the CFL playoffs.
Yeah, there's the difference in the fact that as Medlock boots this to Dembski. The difference is this rookie knows his coach, and the coach knows the rookie very, very well. Guess who? Nissan Titan player of the game.
Jeff Matthews, outstanding performance here in his second start. Nearly 400 yards through the air, throwing 3 touchdown passes in this ball game, demonstrating great poise in the pocket all night long. Was there ever any doubt? Jeff Matthews, the Nissan Titan player of the game.
Brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. And somewhere in Seattle, Sister Katie is smiling right now. Quite a start. Quite a win. His first in the CFL as Rob Bagg stretches this out near the 47-yard line. So it was a night of firsts for Jeff Matthews. First touchdown pass, ended up with 3. First time over 350 yards. And the biggest one of all, first W.
No, we're good. That's the biggie. I think no matter how much you believe in yourself, this still goes a long way towards helping your confidence.
3-man rush. Brett Smith. Over the top again for Ryan Smith. Nice one hand on Courtney Stephen, who didn't like his play on that. 7-yard pickup. And nice play again by Ryan Smith, who has again shown great flashes. He's had one of the catches of the year early in the season. Guy who can go up and get it. Former NDSU Bison. 4 receptions, 83 yards for Ryan Smith out of Wapaton, North Dakota. Grant again. Rob Bagg, and again the Cats are laying back here, so everything underneath is available for Brett Smith, and he's finding those receivers. Now down to 38 seconds to go.
Well, it's interesting now as the Tiger Cats had made a couple of substitutions at linebacker. David Caldwell and Frederick Plessius were in the ballgame. I think Orlando Steinauer doesn't want to see any more of those completions as Reed and Lawrence just came back in. Looking to maintain momentum, success. They want to finish strong. Orlando Steinauer, a guy with the performance of this Hamilton Tiger Cats defense over the last couple of seasons, has certainly worked his way into many head coaching discussions.
Tell you what, the Riders' playoff hopes are over, but I love the fight in this team to the very end. Next week, they have Edmonton, then Calgary, Montreal, and Montreal-Hamilton game will be a big one again next week for the Cats. But now we'll have a couple days to enjoy some turkey and get ready for that game. And I know a lot of them do a lot of community work here and to some shelters, help feed those in need this weekend. To go. Trying to find one more touchdown is Smith. Penalty flag here. Brett Smith down the sideline. And he takes a shot and gives a shot right to Craig Butler. Butler looked like he held up. And then Brett Smith gave him one in the grill. I'm not sure Craig Butler had any ill will on the sideline.
I've watched Craig Butler play for a long time. If he had ill will, there wouldn't have been any doubt. I think he tried to hold up here. May have been a little extra shake there perhaps from Butler after the contact.
Well, we have 6 seconds to go here.
Well, the competitive fire burns deep in both of those guys.
3 penalties on the play. Offside, Hamilton, number 45. That penalty will be declined. We have major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton, number 28. We have major foul, unnecessary roughness, Saskatchewan, number 16. First down, Saskatchewan.
Pretty much what you would have thought would have happened. Offsetting. So 6 seconds to go, and Brett Smith's going to take another shot at the end zone here, and Craig Butler's, is it who, me?
Well, hopefully these last 6 seconds don't hold any further nastiness.
Should be the final play of the game. Unless the Riders score here. Smith, penalty flag again. Or barring penalty. This is a penalty, so we could have one more here.
Illegal contact, Hamilton, number 44. Half the distance to goal. First down, Saskatchewan. There's one more play in the game.
One more play left here, again, barring another penalty. Ken Austin just wants this thing to end. Get ready for next week.
Well, Taylor Reed, the middle linebacker, gets flagged as he gets a little aggressive with a crossing route here. Make life difficult on Rob Bagg.
Okay, one more. There's the shot to the end zone. That's it. And that's it for the Saskatchewan Roughriders playoff hopes. The Hamilton Tiger Cats sharpen their claws tonight and get a grip on first place in the CFL East. And they do it with their young quarterback, Jeff Matthews. Put on a sparkling display tonight. The final 30-15 Hamilton. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Sports Center's on its way right now.